Hey everyone, by now there's a small chance you've heard about Alter Ego, a game on Roblox that, to put it bluntly, sucks. Everyone uses the same killer, the generators aren't fun to do, there's many problems with the map and the lobby, and there's a lot of bugs. I get that this game is early access, but for the amount of bugs and the fact that this game costs 25 Robux really makes you wonder if this game is worth it. Spoiler alert, it's not. How bad really is Alter Ego? First, let's talk about the characters. This game takes a medieval art style and twists it into the equivalent of modern art. First, we've got Noob, who has a soda, which gives him speed, and a slingshot that can stun the killer. Remember, this game is supposed to take place in the medieval time period. Second survivor is Patient Zero. No, not the tower defense simulator intermediate boss, who has an invisibility cape and vitamins that can heal him. The third survivor is what? Wh- Why is Commander from TDS here, dude? Basically, he gives survivors a speed boost and can reveal generators and killers. The last survivor is Fjord. He has the ability to stun the killer with a sword and can reduce the damage taken by other survivors around him. Moving on to the killers, we have Husk. I'm not going to talk about the abilities for the killers since there are just so many passives along with them. He's basically just a big mound of flesh. I don't know. Last but not least, since everyone uses him, Catechus, or however you say it, I don't care. Everyone uses this killer. He's kind of just like 1X from Forsaken, but instead of mass infection, he can turn into an eagle and one-shot you. Moving on to the maps, we've got a mixed bag of medieval and modern. Seriously, you couldn't stay consistent and just make it all medieval or something? Not much to say about them. They've got a lot of Z fighting. And then the bugs. Oh man, the bugs. Well, there were two major bugs I encountered in my hour and a half of playing this game. Let's talk about them. First off, the first time I joined the game, the server was broken. There was a guy who the server thought existed, but they weren't in the server and had no hitboxes either. Essentially, they were a dummy. This meant that, because they had no hitboxes, you could not win as killer in that specific server. It just wasn't possible. Oh yeah, I forgot. Cause, yeah, the non-existent guy makes it impossible for the killer to win. I
Correct.
forgot. This game sucks. I love this game. The second bug I encountered was a dead person had spawned in the lobby. I genuinely do not know how that happened. Um, there were also some smaller bugs like the intro, like the killer intros, looping twice. Speaking of them, why are they so loud?
Called sin. And their currency is karma.
I'd also like to talk about the horrendous idea to add vaulting to this game. Sure, on paper, it sounds like a neat gameplay mechanic. Until you realize that it is near impossible to counter vaults as a killer. First thing that I'd like to say about vaults, killers cannot go over them. So if you get backed into a corner as a survivor, but there's a conveniently placed wall, then congrats. You can now loop the killer for eternity, all by pressing space a few times. However, not everything about this game is bad. There's a few things that I think this game does well or have potential. I think that if the generator puzzles, specifically the wire one, which is what what
Anyways,
do you
I'm an
mean?
evil
What is
killer. I'm gonna
this?
roar.
I can't do it. Yo, because right now the wire puzzle sucks. Um, I think that except for the Z fighting, the game's maps actually look pretty good. The textures, though, ugh. And I also think that if this game improves a lot, then it could be fun. However, the main issue right now is there's no progression in the game. There's a lack of currency, and said currency would be useless anyways, because you can't buy anything. There would be nothing to buy. Anyways, with all that being said, this game just kind of sucks. The art style is all over the place. Everyone just uses the same killer. And it's also just a buggy mess. I understand that no early access game is perfect, but looking back on this game, it looks more like a cash grab than anything. That's just my thoughts, though. I'll see you guys later.
Spooky, scary, ditty, blood send mangoes down your spine. Shrieking mustard will shock your soul, seal your get tonight.